Well, hello there, my loves. I'm Sunny. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a wonderful Easter time if you celebrated and that you're doing well and taking good care of yourself, as I know how holidays and festivities can take more out of us than we might expect, and that they can be also draining and tiring. I've personally been in a bit of a low energy phase myself lately, but I still really wanted to sit down and share this video with you, and I hope you enjoy it. So for this video, I wanted to continue working on the interior of the provincial library house. I actually googled the correct name for this house skin for once to get it right, because I always call it Belle's Village Library from her dream bundle. But anyway, in my last video, I already decorated the main room of this building to give it a community center town hall kind of feeling, where you can come in on a rainy day to read and get some books, browse through antiques and handmade trinkets, and then sit down to have a piece of freshly baked homemade pie or cake and a cup of tea or some hot chocolate with marshmallows to warm up. Today we are moving towards the room on the right side in this building, and I've been really looking forward to turn this space into a proper cozy reading room. It leans a bit more into that public library vibe, but also a little museum-like and even a small research space in a way, like a place where everyone in the valley in need of some quiet time can come to slow down, to read, to study, or simply just being there and relax. The whole inspiration for this entire room actually stems from the memory of a place I used to visit with my family when I was really young. This time it wasn't Scotland, but a spa town in Germany where we would spend almost every Whitsun holidays for several years. And there was this public reading room there that really stuck with me. It was very different visually from what I'm building here. It had these incredibly high ceilings because it was part of an old spa bathhouse complex with a concert hall and gardens. This town actually has the oldest spa gardens, established in 1738, and has the biggest array of historical spa architecture in Europe. So everything there was very bright, a lot of marble, tall windows, very open, but to me it felt almost a bit cold in terms of materials. But I distinctly remember sitting there as a wee little lass flipping through newspapers, which were actually held together by wooden newspaper holders, very organized, very vintage, and it felt so quiet and comforting in a way that is very hard to explain. It almost had the atmosphere of one of those old posh gentlemen's clubs, not in a social way, but more in the sense that everyone was just there to take a breather and to read, completely absorbed, and no one really spoke like in all libraries. And that feeling is what I knew I wanted to bring into this building, and this room in particular just translated into something a bit warmer and more cozy and magical for the valley. The color scheme I chose for this room is therefore very similar to the one I used in the other room in order to make the interior of the building overall cohesive. At this point, you can witness how I am beginning to kind of jump even more between different spots in the room back and forth, instead of finishing and focusing on one and only one area completely. I tend to do that almost always when I am building and decorating in games, no matter if it's outside or indoors, just to see and get a feeling for how things and spaces and everything come together gradually. Building always takes me very much longer than it looks as I cut out the parts where I switch into my character to walk and look around and keep adjusting and tweaking things as I go. So that is why some pieces of furniture might be in a different spot in some sequences of this video than they were merely even seconds before. Now in this particular area of the room, I wanted to create a little, as I call it, research space, like I mentioned earlier. The idea for that came to my mind when I saw and placed that stained glass window with a ship from the Little Mermaid furniture line you get at Scrooge's shop, and my intention was to create a space that villagers like, for example, Prince Eric and even Scrooge himself would deliberately use, so I imagine, for planning out their next adventures and also going through everything they collected and documenting it properly. Like, imagine the nook Bilbo Baggins made himself comfortable in to write down and document his trip to the Lonely Mountain. Anyway, this is what came immediately to my mind, so that is why I placed the writing desk there and then stacked it with scrolls and books and burned down candles and added the tapestry to give it that warm, old, steeped in history feeling, matching the scents of old books, firewood and polished oak furniture, as well as herbal tea and freshly baked pastries. Once that little research corner felt very much in place and mostly put together, I started building out other seating areas in the room so that different villagers could settle in however they prefer. I very much like the idea that you're also not limited to the main room in order to have some tea, and that you could just sit down here a bit more tucked away and still have something small to eat and drink. So I placed an etagere with a few sandwiches and some tea on a side table like it's been brought in at some point and just left there for whoever ended up sitting down there. I brought in some rugs to anchor and ground everything and to separate the spaces visually without actually closing them off, and I also kept adding and layering books and small tables in between and on the sides, so nothing feels too far away or too empty either, like you can just reach over to put something aside or pick something up without having to move too much. Earlier I mentioned how this room also has a museum aspect, and here's how I decided to implement it. So I placed a ship in a bottle together with a small figurine of Mickey's steamboat on a table to tie that in a little more clearly. It's a small detail, but it connects back to the concept that this space isn't only for reading and snacking, but also for keeping and displaying the things that are found in the valley, especially since I use this room as a functional storage room for the time-bending treasure I find. With these two ships in particular, I wanted to point out and nod towards that whole Disney theme of adventure and journeys, especially with the ship motif that shows up again and again throughout the decades. So it might not be something that immediately stands out and catches someone's eye, but once you notice it, it really anchors this whole part of this room's story. So that is my finished reading room, and I'm very happy with how it all came together in the end. Thank you for being here and for watching. I really enjoyed spending time with you today. If you did so as well, then please kindly consider to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I wish you all the best, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!